That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of this House, and members of the opposition, today we are confronted with a unique motion that not only addresses the national security, but also the protection of our society now and in the future. Because government's job is to protect the citizenry, and part of that is giving the citizenry a sense of security, we offer the following motion. Today, this House will ban the broadcast of recordings by terrorists. For this motion, I would like to offer the following definitions. Number 1, ban, to prohibit. Number 2, broadcast, made public by means of radio or television. Number 3, recordings, a verbal or non-verbal message put onto audio, video, or compact disc. And number 4, terrorist, one who uses violence and threats in order to intimidate and or coerce. Given these definitions, I would like to offer the terms of the policy presented. Number 1, no national television or radio broadcast will knowingly air terrorist messages. Number 2, all recordings meant for public broadcast on radio or television coming from an unknown source shall be reviewed by the Ministry of Defense to determine its suitability for broadcast. And number 3, broadcast of terrorist messages will result in immediate revocation of that outlet's media, radio, and broadcast license. Our 3 key points today, along with the idea of protection of the citizenry and safety as the value in our tech team line, would be number 1, that safety must be preserved. Number 2, broadcasting these messages creates terror. And number 3, which will be covered by the Deputy Prime Minister, government has the obligation to protect its citizenry. On to point number 1, safety must be preserved. For a government to protect its citizenry, it must uphold the law and make applicable adjustments in order to adapt to modern threats. Take, for example, hate speech. Most nations currently have written law and rules that dictate what hate speech is defined as and protect its citizenry against such attacks. Practical examples of this are the UK's Public Order Act of 1986, which punishes the violators with up to 7 years in prison. We can also go into Germany's Volksverhetzung, which offers 5 years in prison for the same offense, more applicable to Holocaust denial offenses. And number 3, we can look at Serbia, which offers up to 10 years for these hate crime offenses and hate speech offenses. If we take these examples and use them in connection with internationally recognized Allport scale, which measures manifestations of prejudice on a 5-point scale, and ranks physical attacks and threats of extermination at the highest end of the scale, which terror speech is, this government can come to the conclusion that recorded terrorist speeches are equivalent to hate speech and should therefore never be broadcast on radio or television. Point number 2, broadcasting creates terror. In a safe society, the citizenry should be able to feel that they are safe from undue threats and acts of terror. Take, for example, the United States in the 1970s and the 1980s, which experienced a rise in eco-terrorists. For years, American bloggers, researchers, and other workers feared that activists would attack them after making publicized threats using mass media, whether carried out or not, something similar to what the IRA did. However, in 1976, and later revised in 2004, the Animal Ecological Terror Act was passed with text written that banned dissemination of information and or threats in any form. Since then, ecoterrorism has just been a fading concern, and most Americans have a sense of safety from ecoterrorism. Cross-apply this to the situation today, where over 50 tapes that were made by bin Laden and al-Zawahiri have been broadcast over U.S. airwaves, and extend this to a 2007 Gallup poll, which shows that 35% of Americans fear a terror attack in the near future, and 47% believe a family member will be a victim of terror. And one can conclude that the continuing messages being broadcast make society feel unprotected and thus unsafe. By banning these broadcast recordings, we may be able to lower these numbers, as in the situation of eco-terror, and thus make our citizens feel a sense of safety, which is the role of a good government. Just to review, today we have been talking about why we should ban the broadcast of these on radio and television. We did believe that this is for the better protection of society, and we did value safety for these reasonings. The 3 points we discussed were that safety must be preserved, broadcasting creates terror, and that, well, my opponent will go over, that government has the obligation to protect its citizenry. My opponent will discuss the third, my partner will discuss the third point later, and for this point, we urge a vote to the government bench.